Kevin Saunders, former Border Force Chief Immigration Officer, is with us. Kevin, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ian.
I mean, we'll give him full house points for honesty, I suppose, but it's not really anything we didn't already know, because whatever technique the government and previous prime ministers have tried to put into action simply hasn't worked.
Well, we're not winning, that's for certain. Although we're not losing as badly as we could have been. The numbers are still down this year. I just checked the figures before I came on, and this month alone, we've seen 3,500 come across. This time last year, it was over 8,500. So the numbers for August are down. The numbers overall are down, and that may be partly because the French are doing an awful lot more their side of the channel. Some people would say not enough, but they are doing a lot more.
I mean, when you say numbers are down, I mean, they might be a bit, but not a lot. Would that be fair, Kevin?
Well, I think what we've really got to do is we've got to wait till the end of the year. I mean, all this business about looking at numbers in August probably isn't really helpful. Let's look at the end of the year and we'll see whether they're down as much as we hope they're going to be down.
What is the answer here then? Because we constantly, we've got this agreement with the French, and we discovered only about a week ago that the French weren't doing quite as well as they were doing last year. I know it depends on which month or week you pick, etc. I get that, but we have tens of thousands of people crossing from one country to another. That's illegal to do that, and of course, but yet when you arrive, you claim asylum, so any illegality goes by the wayside. You have a legitimate right to make an asylum claim as it stands. You wouldn't think it would be beyond the wit of mankind to somehow come up with something somewhere that could stop this. I mean, it's just bizarre that we've got used to this. Hundreds of people a day, tens of thousands a year.
Yes, it is absolutely ridiculous. And what we basically have are the migrants asylum shopping. They're deciding where they want to go. And unfortunately, at the moment, the UK is attractive to them because we are pretty generous about what we give. Now, there will be people who say, oh, no, other countries are far more generous, but actually they're not. We're putting people into hotels. We're giving them money. They're going to get housing. I don't know if you saw the housing that's happened in Lincolnshire, where 5 Afghan families are going to get housing, which on the open market would cost over £600,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it is telephone numbers. What we have to do, we have to make the UK less attractive. And the Bibby Stockholm boat, putting people into Army and Airforce bases are a move in the right direction. But the big one will be Rwanda.
Yeah. And
what we really need is a result on Rwanda. Then I think the government will start to move in the right direction. What you've got to realise, Ian, is that the EU have now said categorically that they won't even allow their officials to talk about a returns agreement with Europe.
And I mean, that completely closes a door, doesn't it? So there's no option in that respect. It leaves, as you rightly say, Rwanda. It'll be interesting to know or to see, Kevin, whether Keir Starmer will stand up and endorse Rwanda, because that would be a game changer for him.
Well, I don't like to get involved too much in politics because I was a civil servant. But Labour...
Go on, we don't mind. You can do it.
The Labour Party actually nailed their colours to the mast by saying they are going to get a returns agreement with Europe. Well, I'm afraid the Europeans have, said at Iceland, the conference at Iceland, which the minutes came out last week, that they won't even let their officials talk about.
So that's not going to happen unless, of course, you have a different relationship with Europe.
Well, the Europeans... I mean, when you talk about the Europeans, you're talking really about Macron and his glove puppet, von der Leyen.
Yeah.
The other European countries are not quite so anti-Britain. I mean, the Belgians, for example, and nobody has reported this, we give Belgium 10 million a year, and there are virtually no crossings from Belgium at all, because the Belgians say anybody trying it is breaking not only UK law, but Belgian law.
Wow.
And they lock them up.
That's an interesting factor, and I wasn't even aware of that. I mean, people have often raised the fact of why don't migrants come from other parts of the... I know that, you know, Dover to Calais is the quickest route, so, or the shortest route, rather. But it's interesting that we pay a fee to Belgium for the very same purposes in the same way we pay a fee to France. Although we've given France 480 million, it should be said.
Yeah. We given France virtually everything they wanted. We give Belgium 10 million,
wow.
And there is virtually no illegal crossing, even in lorries, from Belgium, because the Belgians take it all very seriously.
Well, they're doing what they were paid to do, clearly, which is like a fairly, you know, honest transaction. Here's 10 million quid to try and stop this. No problem at all. Thanks for the 10 million. We'll stop it. There it is. Kevin, Thank you.